hive cluster is under attack.
For the swarm.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be action and shiny here on Radeon. One heck of a TVZ sent to me by RJB. Bottom right it is action, bottom left it is shiny. As always, Shiny is banned from ASL for not showing up to matches, but he's an incredible Terran player nonetheless. He ladders, he streams, he gives Zerg players and Protoss players and Terran players all they can handle a lot of the time, and I think Action has his work cut out for him here today. So, this is just going to be a Patreon cast. For those of you who are supporting me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month, thanks again for the support, and hit that like button if you're not a patron to support without having to do any money donations. So, we've got an SCV movement out here. FalconPaladin.store, SCV merch named Steve, and Terry the Overlord merch as well. So Terry's scouting out the wrong direction here on Radeon, which means he will live until the end of the game. Citation required on that statement. And it's a TVZ, man. Why? Why do Zergs not make Sunkens when there's a push coming out? We got ourselves, an overpool opening here from our guy Action. Why do they not make Sunkens when there is a force pushing out from the Terran player? Do you think they can hold it without Sunkens? I do not know. I know that Sunkens take a lot of drones away from mining permanently, and I know they're expensive, but it is something that is needed to stay alive. Jaedong versus Light, man. I know Light is a lot better player than Jaedong at this stage, but to hear Tastosis say that Jaedong is just falling down on stuff that is super simple and super standard that other Zergs are pretty good at, it just hurts. I don't know why Jaedong can't handle this. Pull down, hatch down, well, growing, but it is down here on the ground. And the SCV says, hey, look, it's an overpull timing for this hatch. So we can expand. Just make a Marine. Just make maybe another Marine here. Just be prepared for Lings. The SCV will see how many Lings are going to come across here. The extractor is not done, so it's not like some sort of ultra fast speed Ling timing at least. We've got 2 Lings here. We've got 2 Lings here. We've got 1 Ling peeling off to try to hack Steve to pieces. I know he's inside your base, man, and I know he's scouting and sending back crucial scouting information to Shiny, but dude, you don't have to hack him to pieces with your claws. Ow. Look at this. Claws. That's the name. That's the name of the attack here for these Zerglings. Claws. So expanding. Yep, after making a couple Marines, 3 Marines, and then canceling a Marine there. Bury the Overlord coming up. Just perching up here on his Overlord perching spot here on Radeon to see what's going on. And look. Oops. Look. It's a barracks. Scout down, man. There we go. Scouting down to see the command center if there is one, and there is. And then pulling back to safety. Excellent job there. Gas coming down. Another barracks here. So it's going to be an SK Terran opening. Or maybe it's going to be Valkyries or tanks instead of science vessels. I don't know. We will see what Shiny, his plans are today. And there is an academy on the way here. So because this is a Patreon game, a lot of you who will see this, like thousands of people who will see this in May, like late May 2025, instead of early May when this posts on Patreon. You know who wins ASL, right? ASL 19. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Sulky, man. He looks so invincible, and every other elite player, there's just little bits of chinks in their armor, because that's what Brood War is. Nobody's perfect at this game. Sulky is playing pretty much perfectly here, but still not perfect. But other players, yeah, just a little bit bigger flaws in their game, in my opinion. So if Sulky doesn't win, count me surprised. Let me know in the comments that I was wrong. Back in April 30th, when this thing was cast, 2025. So look, yep, a lot of Marines hugging this wall, defending against Zerglings. The Overlord says, okay, so it's going to be a lot of Marines. We're going to take a third base up at the top right side map here. Far, far away. As far away as we can get from this Terran player. Engineering Bay on the way. Because again, there's a Spire coming up, and the Spire, bop, is done. So, Engineering Bay not quite done here, a little bit late, but still on time to get these missile turrets down before Mutalisks show up. And so failing to create Sunkens is pretty much the same thing, in my opinion, as failing to create missile turrets against a Zerg player at the standard Mutalisk timing. When do we see a Terran that says, I'm just going to go ahead and skip missile turrets here. I'll be okay. I can hold it off with only Marines, and then they die. Right? They always make missile turrets. Always! So why do Zerg think that they can skip Sunkens? Alright, so we're going to get off that topic there because it gets me so very, very mad. Hey, look! Turrets up! Oh my gosh! 3 turrets up! 4 turrets up! +1 attack on the way here from action. We've got a scan as well. Scanning the natural. Oh, look, there's gas. There are no Sunkens there. Interesting, he says. Dude is actually going to try Sunkenless here. We see this more against Protoss than against Terran. Also, this third base dying pretty much means it's a GG for our guy action, so keep that in mind. That's going to be a problem. But Action's got some Lings. He's got a decent group of Mutalisks here. Another one joining the party. Yeah, he's got another one joining the party. So it's 8 Mutalisks. These guys, it is like the titchiest, weirdest micro you're going to ever in your entire life as a Terran player. When you're just like, do we get across the map? If we spread out too much, the Mutas come from behind and they pick us off one by one. It's like freaking velociraptors in the tall grass, dude, in Jurassic Park. Yeah, see? Oh, man. Medics dying here would be the end of it as well, but they're not dying. It's just Marines that are going down. Ooh, reinforcing Marines come in. Lings trying to get hits off on these medics. He kills 1 medic with the Zergling and the Muta combination here. Loving that. +1 attack. Still not done for these Mutas. A double starport on the way back home from Shinee. Probably going to be 4 science vessels. And a Hydra Den is on the way. So at this stage, he's like, I don't think I need Sunkens. I don't think I need them. Let's make sure this whole group dies. Yeah, we're investing a lot into Mutalisks. And then finally, you made enough Mutas that with the help of these like 4 Zerglings, you can clear this whole group out. So that's a win, but that's a big investment into Mutalisks, and a bunch of them died. More Mutas are even on the way. Lurker Aspect coming in. I'm wondering if he's going to cancel +1. I think it is canceled +1. Nope, finished. Finishing +1. Man, getting to the very end and canceling would be odd, in fairness. But here we go. Turrets getting 2 volleyed down. Now that +1 is done. 1 volley, 2 volley. Turrets down. SCVs dying. Glaive splash. Glaive bounce. Very, very dangerous here. The Mutas fly away. Fly away home. Ooh, yeah. And attacking the factory, you get to bounce onto those SCVs down there, but that's an attack the factory's eating instead of the SCVs. Remember how there were 4 turrets at the natural base? There's still 2 more turrets, despite the fact that you killed 2 of them. That's how math works. Ooh, it is Valkyries. With a +1 ship weapons. Not SK Terran at all. Gonna be Valkyrie stuff. Now, we saw Light do this against Jaedong in the round of 8. For ASL 19, he went Valkyries, and because he had an armory already, he went straight into mech. He transitioned into mech after making a bunch of Marines and a bunch of Valkyries and just kind of dealing with this Mutalisk threat that way and keeping Jaedong on his back foot and then switching into mech. And then Jaedong went into Queens, and it was a really great TVZ. I'm not going to tell you who won that game because it was awesome. It was a great TVZ between 2 legends. But I'm curious to see if that's what we get. That is a ship weapons upgrade. Engineering Bay is not working on further upgrades for the Marines. He's got +1, but he's not getting any more than that. Another pair of Valkyries is on the way. I am sniffing. I am smelling mech here, folks. But look at Action getting a friggin' hive. at 9 minutes. This is going to finish like around the 10-minute mark. Look at this thing. 9:58, 9:59, 10 minutes. Bam, 10:01. That sucker's done. Okay, so this is awesome. This is really good stuff. 3 bases, 3 gases, lurkers out. Defiler mound on the way at 10 minutes. Nidus Canal reinforcements up here to the 3rd. This is good. This is problematic. 4 Valkyries against your Mutalisks. Immediately Scourge start. He sees the Valks and says, well, in that case, let's get some Scourge out. Spider Mine's on the way. Hold on. Hold on. He's going to float these racks at some point. He's going to start building more factories. I am predicting it. I don't watch these games before I cast them. I like being surprised, just like you guys are. Ooh. Oh, huge Valkyrie hits. And Marines getting a couple more hits in there. These mutas are very injured. Very, very injured. But their utility is going to fall apart here soon anyway, because mutas are not good against mech. Especially not when there's a giant group of Valkyries flying around. Dropship on the way. Just no further upgrades for these Marines. Like, this has to be where Action is checking the upgrade counter on these Marines, and he goes, you only have +1 attack. You don't have further upgrades at all. Man, these dropships. He's going to try to drop in here. Oh, the Valkyrie micro is so good. It is 5 Valkyries. They could take out an Overlord in a hot second. Scourge not getting connections here either. Okay, that's a problem. Lurkers do go low ground with their spines. Take out a handful of those Marines. Look at these macro hatches from Action. Feeling it. Now, Adrenal's on the way. Defilers are here. Consume is done. So we can Dark Swarm against these Marines to our heart's content. The problem is the Valkyries aren't really affected by that at all. 3rd base coming in left side here from our guy, Shinee. There's your 2nd Nidus, and he's getting a Spore. Just in case the Valkyries come over here to try to kill this Overlord. The Spore will help a little bit at least. But I don't know. These are a lot of Valkyries, dude. 1 kill, 1 kill, 2 kills, 2 kills. Sharing their kills fairly equitably there, these Valkyrie pilots. Like to see that. Yeah, C-Double Armory working on mech upgrades and additional factories coming in. Hey, Falcon's been paying close attention to ASL. He's figuring some stuff out, guys. These barracks are still not floating, but I'd be shocked if we get any more Marine production here in this game. Yeah, see? Well, here's the drop inside what could be a 4th base. It's just not one yet. So there's nothing to kill, but that's good news for Shinee because he's got a 3rd base of his own. If the Zerg player doesn't have a 4th base, then he's the happiest of campers. These Marines are not the happiest of campers, but these guys are. Look at them. They're like, there's no 4th base. Brilliant. Okay, well, we Dark Swarm. Yeah, these guys are like, oh, hold up. Okay, drone, careful, says the Defiler. Don't go in there yet. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I guess the problem is you can't throw up a hatch if these Marines are here because the Dark Swarm doesn't protect the hatch. You need the Lurkers to be in positions to cover the hatch. He's going for it. And then throw down the hatch. There we go. So Lurker's in position. He's like, do I need Dark Swarm yet? Maybe not. Maybe I don't. There we go. So 4th base is late. And taking a base in the top left is Shinee. This was what I'm talking about. Oh, he plagues them instead. Okay, gets one of the Lurkers. Uh-oh. Zerglings on top of your plagued Marines is a tough thing. They get a cancel on a macro hatch here at the 4th. That's a good win. And Zerglings trying to get hits off on these. There you go. On the plagued Marines. There you go. Plagued Marines are dead. Unplagued Marines are still alive, which makes a lot of sense here. Chitinous plating on the way. So he's going to try to deal with this mech with Ultras. Now, if you drop your Ultralisks, you can get a lot of work done against mech. But if you try to run them into the tank, it's going to be a bad time. We've seen Soul Key do it, right? If you Dark Swarm support and you pick your spots wisely, then you 100% can make this work. Dude, Vulture run by into the natural. Could be big spider mines everywhere. Yeah, this is light style. This is light style. I believe Artosa said that light developed this very style. And Shinee has paid attention to it over the years. He's kept it in his back pocket. He's going for it. Dude, 4th base, 5th base. On the way from Shinee. Action is in all of the trouble. Every single bit of it. He's in it here. Man, these lurkers getting wiped out by spider mines. That's a good way to loot. Look at this block. Spider mines blocking an attempt at a 5th base here from Action. Brutal. Brutal stuff. Great plague on the vultures. Not a bad idea. Defiler doesn't actually die for it somehow. Spider mines killing lings. Spider mines not triggering on lurkers there. Ooh, got a Defiler snipe there, though. And this Ultralisk is eating spider mines. Not what he wants to do. That's what Zerglings are for. Okay, so he's... Whoa, is he attacking a spider mine that he was on top of? I guess. I couldn't see it. He must have been parked right on top of it, and bam, there's the 5th base. But dude, this 5th base is done for Shinee. Dude, Shinee has this game. He's in complete control here. If it's going to be Ultralisks, he's got Chitinous Plating, which Spider Mines and Siege Tank kits don't care about. He's getting Anabolic Synthesis, which does help you close the distance between you and those tanks. There's the barracks floating out. And here is Action trying to expand to a 6th base. And he gets it down. All is well here. Charon boost on the way. All right, this is looking like one heck of a TVZ. RJB said put it in the DEFCON 1 folder. And he was not wrong to say that at all. Oh, Siege Tanks and Spider Mines create Ultralisk piles of blood. Right on the ground here. It will seep into the ground here. I guess the cracks in between these metal things on this starport or wherever this is. Yeah, this is bad. The Ultras are dying without really getting a lot done. Spider-Mine triggers on a Defiler and kills it. I just think Hydras are better. Hydra Queen Crackling against this strat seems to be better to me than Ultralisks and Zerglings. And this is somebody who likes Ultras. I'm a big fan. You know me. I love Ultralisks. But against mech, they're just not very good. And if you're struggling to deal with the Zerg players, rather, as a Terran because of the Ultras, then, dude, build Spider Mines and watch them melt. Build Siege Tanks and watch them die. These lurkers are still a problem, in all fairness. Burrowin taking a lurker out. Siege Tanks cannot, if they're spread well enough. Beautiful spread, man. Beautiful spread. Not taking any splash damage at all there. Lurker. Oh. What? Like, two SCVs died there. SCVs have a lot of hit points, man. Denial of the 3rd base. Huge friggin' deal. Vultures onto the other side. Say, I don't care if you have lurkers over here. I'm gonna kill all of your drones at this base and the ones that have just hatched while you're at it. How do you like them apples? And he doesn't like those apples. Defiler's getting crushed as well. Bam. Dude, another Defiler comes in. Gets a plague off, plaguing one vulture. Not even hardly worth the spell expenditure there. Not even close. Okay, the base getting shut down. Finally, this lurker dies. Siege Tanks have arrived. 3rd base lands again from Shinee. 191, 180 supply in favor of Shinee, though, dude. He's got this base and this base and this and this and this base. He's feeling very good. Who's going to try to take these bases is my question. Against the Terran who can kind of park a couple tanks on a ramp like this and ruin your day. Not the best move. Yeah, if we're not going to do drops, I'm just going to stop casting this right now, Action. If you're not going to do drops at all, I'm not saying you have to drop every time, but if you're not bringing drops into this game, because you can drop on these tanks on the high ground and get so much more work done than running in this area, getting shot the whole time, and then trying to come up this ramp. Well, alright then. I guess that's it. Nice plague. I do not see how Shinee drops this game. There's a crackling inside his 5th base. Kind of causing some issues for these SCVs. I like it. That's a +2 crackling. Getting some work done. He's killed 2 of them. Hang on a second. If you're not going to clear out this Ultralisk, he'll happily kill your entire base for you, Shinee. He's like, drag the Ultralisk down into siege tank fire. There we go. Okay, well, I mean, these SCVs are like, you could have showed up a little bit sooner, guys. This push out from Shinee is pretty good. This Plague is also pretty nice. I'm going to give that Plague about a 9 out of 10. And then the Mute. Oh, everyone was like, the Mutas don't have any value. As the mech is happening, well, they can clear out Plague siege tanks fairly effectively. Ah, look at this Dark Swarm siege tank being saved by Dark Swarm. That's good. Ultralisk is like, you're not safe from me, buckaroo. Ultra dies immediately thereafter. Valkyries come and wipe out the Mutas because they decide to engage with the Valkyries. Yeah, Valkyries are doing great. They're still alive. I'm kind of impressed by that. No, Action is just running. He's just running into tank fire. What is this? Okay, at least he doesn't run that Ultralisk into tank fire by himself. The remaining Mutalisks, who somehow aren't dead to Valkyries yet. Oh, here they are. Ahem. I spoke too soon. Oh my gosh. Why do I think there's more Valkyries than there are? Just they look like there are so many more, but there are just, you know, the 7. Let's see. Zerg blood everywhere. No real tank explosions. No signs of those. Valkyries. Ah, Plague on the Valkyries! That's how you take care of a bunch of Valkyries or Wraiths in this matchup. But dude, it's not a supply block on Action. It is. It's totally a supply block on Action. Scourge connected. No, didn't connect. Actually didn't connect. Oh, the supply blockage here. This is like Corsairs running free in your base. Supply blocked. Action down 181 to 137 supply. Zerg player trying to take the 6 o'clock position. This one Mutalisk is trying to take down a barracks. It's already burning. I think your job is done, sir. And you have to spend how many more resources on 10 more Overlords? 1,000. And you don't have that kind of money and more. Where is the one Hydralisk? Where is the one Hydralisk to pick off these Valkyries? You can't kill these. Ah! Ooh, drags a spider mine in. Kills a tank, but oh my gosh. I thought we were done with this type of TVZ against mech. I really thought we were. I was casting a bunch of these on the channel when the channel was fairly new back in like 2017 or 2018. And I had a lot of TVZs with mech where the Zerg player would just run into siege tanks and be like, boy, I sure hope this works. And then it never did. And then they started incorporating drops. And then they started using queens, and that kind of sucked. But then they started using queens in a smart way, and that was incredible. And now the current meta of having to deal with mech with Hydras, Cracklings, Lurkers, Defilers, and those Hydras is really good. But this is not it, man. This is not it, Action. Not even close, dude. Yeah, this is over. Like, I think this has been over for like 5 minutes. If Action comes back and wins this thing, I'm going to be insanely impressed. Look at the random Science Vessel tech switch here at 23 minutes. The Science Vessels catch a Plague. They irradiate 3 of the Ultras. I don't even know if irradiating the Ultras is necessary in this game. You've been doing pretty well without... Oh my gosh. He burrows Lings in there. A Lurker. One Lurker inside Dark Swarm got into this base. Action. Playing smart all of a sudden. Takes out a couple tanks. The third base of Shinee is a disaster area. It's a federally recognized disaster area on this space platform. Spider bites. Oh my gosh. Okay, Action putting in some work. Actually killing a couple siege tanks before all those Ultralisks explode. See, Lurker and Dark Swarm, kind of awesome. Turns out. Still down 199 to 165 supply. If you're Action. Against a meching Terran player, that's not really where you want to be. Nope, 2 dead Ultralisks. I know they look alive, but they're dead. They are beyond dead. Falcon can see the future. This base died to tanks. What did I say about putting tanks on the ramp? What did I say about that? I said that's the thing. I might honestly just not cast the final 5 minutes of this game because this is not how you do this. It's really not how you do this. He's getting some nice plagues. There are some nice dark swarms. But dude, we had a game, Sulky and Speed? Sulky and 4GG, somebody, I think it was on Dominator even, recently on the channel, where there was mech. And Sulky did sometimes run into the siege tanks with Dark Swarm support, but guess what he also did? He dropped. He dropped, like Action is right now. All right, Action, I see you. I see you going for these drops. See, look. There aren't even any... Did he repair these? He repaired his Valkyrie fleet. Dude, Shinee deserves to win for repairing those Valkyries. But no Goliaths, because the Valkyries are covering the skies, at least for now. And, like, the best thing that Action can do right now is drag Spider Mines into tanks. That's his best strategy. That's all he's capable of doing to get this win. The map is split in half. I mean, I guess this base is technically denied, or it was for a second, so now it's split in half. And against a meching Terran player, that's not how it's supposed to go. All right, man. It's going to be, again, some sort of miracle blessed by the new Pope. Whoever that may be. Ooh, look at this Valkyrie micro against the Scourge. That is so sweet. Yeah, Shinee deserves to win. But it takes some kind of miracle, like, sanctioned by the new Pope himself. Or herself. Maybe the new Pope's a woman. Who knows? For this to be a win for the Zerg. He can't get across the map anymore. He can't really get out of his own corners of the map. Okay, here we go. Drop attempt. Where are the Valkyries at? Drop, 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 to drop, drop, to drop, drop. Drop a Lodian. I like it. The Overlords are all dead, but they, you know, they helped a lot there. Do you see how much better that went for Action? Because he dropped. Now look, the Ultras are free. I mean, they were irradiated and there are tanks firing on them, and it's not great. It's just not enough Zerg. Like, as a Terran player, I'm not afraid of this swarm right here. It's like one Ultralisk and a handful of Lings. A little bit of Defiler support. Never hurt nobody, though. Hold on a minute. Maybe the main base is in trouble. There are Goliaths being produced. They actually trade pretty well against Ultras. They do big, kind of bursty damage, which is what you want here. Hold on. The main base... Shinee, your main base is being absolutely shelled currently. What is your plan to deal with it? Well, I'm going to continue making Goliaths and killing everything that comes in here and is in range of being shot at. Yeah, this crackling is helping so much with that siege tank. Woof! Not even being sarcastic. Okay, he cleans it out. Cleans it out. It's a nice little attack here by Action. Okay, now we're back to running across the map with just handfuls of Zerglings, hoping they don't die before they kill something important. This Ultra has exactly 1 kill before he gets killed. Nice. How did... Okay, that guy... Remember that Spore I talked about earlier? That was nice. That's your GG. Like I said, man. Like, what an incredible display there of how to play this style of TVZ by Shinee. It's really good. It's effective. But this isn't how you deal with it. This is simply not how you deal with it from a Zerg perspective, man. This is not how you do. I know he survived to 30 minutes. I'm impressed by that. But the number of ultras that died just kind of 8 miles away from the closest siege tank or got dragged by spider mines or... It's just too much. Too much. What died here? Probably a missile turret? Likely. And these Valkyries, man. Valkyries. 10 kills, 8 kills, 7 kills, 12 kills, and 8 kills. This Valkyrie fleet might just straight up be my thumbnail. These guys right here. We're just going to take a picture of this, and it's going to be the thumbnail. That's it. Here, look. Bonk. That's it. That's the one. They were the winners today. So yeah, GG, man. Like I said, I would have stopped casting at around 20 minutes because I could see where this was going. Action is doing all the wrong things. Not dropping, not making queens, not trying to use hydras at all, not trying to force out more Goliath so there were fewer siege tanks, not dropping on the tanks. He had one really nice drop on the tanks. But that's it, and that's just not enough. That is simply not enough. So good game, man. Shinee had a game plan. He executed it. He got the win. All credit to Shinee in that game. I like how his name's actually U-Cute, which I haven't said today. But 255,000 points to 225,000 points in favor of Shinee. He got outproduced, but he outkilled by 3-1. 3-1 kill death ratio. 21-1 buildings raised in favor of action. That makes you feel kind of okay. And then the outspend by action is there. It's just not enough. Especially not against a meching Terran. So, GG. What a weird Patreon game, man. Does Action not know how to handle this? Or did he just kind of not recognize what it was and then just screw it? I don't know, man. Screw it up. Okay, well, that's a GG, and that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.